Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind 007. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at these two phones. This right here on my left is the Alcatel Myflip 2, and this is the Nokia 2760. So you're probably wondering which one is the best. These are the two phones that are on the market right now. One is made by Alcatel and the other one by Nokia. So they run the same operating system and they're priced about the same, $20 if you get it from TracFone. So the big question is, which one's better and how are they different? So we're going to start with the size. So let's look at the size. I'm not going to make any measurements. It's very clear just from looking at it that the Nokia is larger than the Alcatel. So in that sense, the Alcatel wins as far as size because it's smaller. And of course the screen are about the same, so I want to make that a level playing field. So Alcatel gets a point for that. Now as far as weight, I've already checked this and they do weight about the same. The Alcatel weighs 120 grams and the Nokia weighs 130 grams. So they're about the same, so they are tied. Now the next thing I want to look at is how long they take to power up. So I've already done this a little bit of experimenting and they're tied, but just for fun we're gonna look at it anyway. So I'm gonna try my best to turn them on at exactly the same time, and we're gonna see how long each takes. And like I said, I've already done this before and they're tied, more or less, not exactly, but more or less. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the Nokia does get there a little bit faster, but just by a few seconds. So by my definition, that's a tie. So in terms of speed, they're about the same. So I do have a list here of a few extra things I want to talk about. So the next thing I want to talk about is Google Assistant. So in a few words, Alcatel has it, Google Assistant, and the Nokia does not. And I find that in a flip phone, Google Assistant is a huge thing, because if you're going to be typing letters on a keyboard like this, it's just a lot better to have Google Assistant. And if you look around the Nokia, there is no Google Assistant. Even on the store, you cannot download it. But if you look over here on the Alcatel, it's right there. It's the first thing on the list. So on that sense, the Alcatel wins. The next thing I want to talk about is social media. So that's very important to a lot of people. I'm not big into that, but I do use it on occasion. So the Alcatel gets ahead on that because it does have WhatsApp. So if you go over here, you have WhatsApp. So that's good that it has it, and it's also good that you have Google Assistant because you don't have to type anything. You can just talk and it'll automatically type for you. So in that sense, the Alcatel gets ahead. The next thing I want to talk about is Facebook. So in that sense, the Alcatel gets ahead because it has Facebook right here. And not only does it have Facebook, like I said, there's Google Assistant, so you can just talk and it'll type for you. So you don't have to worry about using this keyboard right here. So as far as social media, the Alcatel gets ahead, and by a long shot. So the next thing I want to talk about is camera. Alcatel 2 megapixel, Nokia 5 megapixel. So there's a big difference there, and let's go outside and let's see the difference. Let's take some video and some pictures and let's find out what the difference is. Let's go. Okay folks, so we are doing a comparison about the cameras. So I do have the Nokia on the right side and the Alcatel on the left side. So let's go for a walk. Let's find out what's going on with that white bird over there. Let's try to zoom in. It's living. It is leaving me. Okay, so this is where the alligators live. Okay, so it is now nighttime. Nokia is on the right side, Alcatel on the left. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom out. Let's go back home. Okay, we are back. The next thing I want to talk about is flashlight. The Alcatel does not have a flashlight. Nokia does have a flashlight. As a matter of fact, the Alcatel does not have any kind of flash. So the camera doesn't have a flash and there is no flashlight. While the Nokia does have a flash and there is a flashlight. So let me show it to you. It's right here. And there's your flashlight. Let's turn that off. So in that sense, the Nokia gets ahead. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I'm going to call it flip indentation. So that means how easy it is to open the flip phone like that. So if you look at Nokia, it does have this V-shape edge over here that makes it very easy to open like this, the Alcatel. If you look at the Nokia, it does not. So you just have to pry it open with your nail. I find that to be very inconvenient, and I wish they would have left that indentation so I don't have to use my nail, because if you don't use your nail, it's a little bit difficult to do. Also, the fact that this is there, it tells you what orientation the phone is in. So you're not going to be trying to do this. You know that it's like this, and then you open it. But this one, you can't really tell. That sometimes you hold it like this and you think that's the right way up, but it's actually this way. So in that sense, the Alcatel wins. The next thing I want to talk about is SOS button, which is right here. You can assign that to an emergency service. The Alcatel has it. The Nokia does not. The next thing I want to talk about is storage. Alcatel has 4 gigabytes, Nokia 4 gigabytes. So they both tie. They are tied in that sense as far as storage. Speed. I can't really demonstrate speed, but I've been using both of these, and definitely the Nokia is more fluid, so you can navigate a lot faster. The Alcatel is a lot more sluggish. So you click and it kind of, there's like about a second lag, like a 1 second lag. You can almost see it. Let's do that again. You can almost see it. Hear that click. Let me turn off the fan. Hear the click. There's almost about a half second lag, while this one is more, you can navigate a lot easier. There's less of a lag. Definitely a big difference. So that's going to be noticeable if you're using the phone a lot. If you're going to be doing a lot of things with the phone, you're going to notice that lag. It's going to be very annoying. So in that sense, the Nokia gets ahead. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is back button. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but the Alcatel does not have a back button. It's combined into the red button right here, the cancel home button. While the Nokia does have a dedicated back button, which is right here, and it's independent from the red home button. So the reason why that matters is because that when you're trying to get out of somewhere, with the Alcatel, you have to click, 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 click. You have to keep going back, 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 back. Or you have to long press the red button to get out. while the Nokia, if you want to get out, you just press this one once and it gets out. If you want to go back, you just press the back button. So that does make a big difference if you're using the phone a lot. So in that sense, the Nokia gets ahead. The next thing I want to talk about is USB-C. The Alcatel has a regular USB connection that is not reversible, while the Nokia has a USB-C reversible connection. So that's a good thing because you can plug it in like that or like that. But the Alcatel, you plug it in like that, but not like that. So in that sense, the Nokia gets ahead. Maps. They both have maps provided by Google, but there's a problem. The Nokia does not have a voice recognition, the Google Assistant, while the Alcatel does. So it's very annoying to be typing a direction on this kind of keyboard, while on the Alcatel you can use the voice recognition thing to simply say where you want to go. I'm not going to demonstrate that here in this video, but you can look at my channel with each review. Well, especially this review. This one doesn't even have it. So you'll see how that works, and it works perfectly. It's like talking to, hey Google, take me to McDonald's. So in that sense, even though they both have maps, the Alcatel wins because you can talk to it. The Nokia, you cannot talk to it. The next thing I want to talk about is sound quality. They can both play audio, but the Nokia, I've tested it before. I don't want to show it right now because you can't really see it on video, but the Nokia has a slightly better audio as far as listening through the speaker. I don't know where the speaker is on this, but the speaker is here on this. So this one definitely does have a better speaker, and it sounds a little bit better than this one. Not that they're any good, neither are really any good. You're supposed to connect this to a Bluetooth. I don't think you want to be listening through music through the speakers, through their internal speakers, but this one, the Nokia, does have a better speaker. So in that sense, the Nokia gets ahead. Now speed dial, they are tied as far as speed dial because they both have speed dial, and by that I mean you can assign buttons 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to a number, and you can do the same on the Alcatel, and they work exactly the same. You just long press one of those keys and it'll dial that number automatically. The number 1 is dedicated for voicemail, so you cannot assign that to anything. So they are tied. As far as price, they are tied. They both cost me $20. So I find that to be a perfect tie. As far as headphone jacks, they both have headphone jacks and they work exactly the same way. So they are tied. As far as battery, I took a look at the battery, and the Nokia has a 1450 milliamp hour battery, while the Alcatel has a 1350 milliamp hour battery. So I would expect the Nokia to last a little bit longer, but that's very difficult to measure. And last but not least is Bluetooth. So they both have Bluetooth. If you want to connect this to a speaker like this one,
Bluetooth connected.
They both have Bluetooth.
Battery fully charged.
It keeps talking. Okay. So anyway, they are tied as far as Bluetooth. So let me turn that off. So we have reached the end of this video, and while there isn't a clear winner, I'm gonna give you my opinion. If I had to choose between the two, I would probably go with the Alcatel. The main reason being Google Assistant. Because you have a flip phone, it's very troublesome to be typing on a flip phone because you have this type of keyboard right here. So having a Google Assistant, in my opinion, is a game changer. Although this has a much inferior camera, and basically you don't have a camera on this phone because the camera is so bad. You looked at the video, you saw the pictures. It's not a great camera at all, and it doesn't have a flash, so the camera cannot record in the dark, while this one can to some extent. And this one also has a flashlight function, which this one does not have at all. So that's a major flaw for the Alcatel, not having a flash. That's also a game changer. But if I had to choose, definitely I would go with the Alcatel because of that Google Assistant, and because it has Facebook, and because it has WhatsApp. So basically you could theoretically use it without service. If you have WhatsApp, you don't really have to have a connection, while the Nokia you do have to have a connection. You can't do it without service. So in that regard, definitely this has Google Assistant, Facebook, WhatsApp, and maps with voice recognition. This one does not have any of that. So this one's just a very traditional phone, like 1999, 2000, 2001 kind of phone. This one's a modern phone, modern flip phone. So that's strictly my opinion. If you're looking for a good camera or a slightly better sound, this one might be the one you want to go with. So it's really just what you're looking for. So anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe and thumbs up.